Hey, folks, and welcome to Drinking Alone with Friends, a podcast where three friends drink alone together. My name's Chris.
What up? It's Tud.
And I'm Obert.
And I think we have to change the intro, guys. I think we do.
What do you mean?
Well, you know, I don't know if you knew this, but we were discovered. We were discovered recently.
Oh, yeah. We've made it big now.
Yeah, we made it very big. For those of you that haven't seen, we were featured on the top 20 best beer podcasts on the planet by feedspot.com.
Correct. Yeah, that email came in over the weekend, and we're on it. We're there.
So we're looking for a label right now. We're kind of shopping some offers, but we haven't committed to anyone just yet.
Right. So Sony, Empire Records,
Spotify is getting into the podcast game.
Yeah. Spotify,
iHeartRadio.
Yep.
Clear Channel,
Google.tud,
Entercom, Barstool Sports.
Now, not to mention, we've already gotten offers from some or most of these people. But, just throwing them out there again to jog their memory.
If they really want us, they should really act fast because there's a lot of exciting things happening.
Right. They're like, wow,
we're in talks.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, we haven't signed, no ink to paper yet, but there's a couple lucrative deals in there. I've read through all the contracts clearly. And I know you two have. What's one of the biggest perks that you like from the contract so far? Car allowance. That's a pretty good one.
Yeah. I like the title that you get, that you can get on your business card and on your driver's license that says like podcaster. You could get that as your official title.
So podcaster Obert.
Yeah, exactly. Right. It's like honorable or doctor or esquire. It's we're podcaster.
Excuse me, it's podcaster Obert.
Right.
Thank you very much. Yeah. The most interesting one, which I'm leaning towards now, was when Sony they said unlimited gummy animals for life. They said gummy animals though, so I'm like, can I go for like a gummy cheetah?
I think so.
I'm more partial to the gummy.
Well, you're kicked off the podcast. Is this okay?
I would go for like a gummy blue whale. It's just
gummy
like
blue whale.
A Swedish fish, but the size of your table.
Too much gummy.
Well, you don't have. You just rip a piece off, and you go from there.
You just piece by piece, you eat that blue whale. That would be pretty good. I love Swedish fish. Oh man, it's been a long time since I've had it. I probably ate a blue whale's worth of Swedish fish.
Yeah, I haven't had Swedish fish in a long time. I like them too, but I'm worried that if I tried it now, I'd be like, oh, this isn't as good as when I was a child.
Yeah, unfortunately, I wasn't really a child when I ate all these.
Chris is like, these tasted better when I was 25.
Oh, rose-colored glasses. But no, thank you, FeedSpot, for that awesome email and the list. Super, super cool. I don't know how y'all found us, but I'm glad you did. And if you found us on that article, well, welcome. And we're Drinking Alone with Friends. And
because we're so proud of our ranking at number 11, we're going to put the list in the show notes so you can all read it. But don't listen to any of the other ones. You can just assume we're the best.
That's pretty awesome. That's pretty awesome. Yeah.
Now, whenever somebody searches for beer podcasts, our name is on the official list when you Google beer podcasts, which is amazing.
I was pretty excited. I didn't even see the email come through. Tud texted us this morning, and I was at work for like the 1 millionth day in a row, and I was like, that's awesome. Perfect. I'm going to retire. I'm leaving. Bye. Sony's calling. I'm on the phone with Sony CEO who asked to remain nameless.
Mr. Sony.
Mr. Sony, yes. Oh, damn it. Obert, you outed him. You weren't supposed to.
Oh, sorry. I mean, Mrs. Sony.
Oh, man. It's pretty cool, though. Pretty cool stuff. But I think we have to give the people what they came here for, which is some drinking of alcoholic beverages in the name of beer. Also, number 11 is just 2 number ones. Let's just remember that.
In binary, we're third. So
that's also true. So who wants to kick us off this week?
I like to go first.
Okay.
Every once in a while you find a great mix pack. They're hard to come by. We've all bought mix packs where you're like, 3 of these beers are pretty good, and this 4th one I'll drink. Or like, these are some good beers, but there's always, what's going to be at the bottom of the cooler when you're done with your tailgate. For me, the first mix pack I really liked was the Harpoon's Tailgater 12-pack they had in cans.
Yes, that's a classic.
That was really good. And
That's a classic.
I don't know, maybe I liked it because that was really when the first time that craft beer started to get into cans. I think also it was around that time too.
Don't Google it.
And now I have a beer from the Kettle House Cooler Times Adventure Pack. So they have 8 16-ounce cans, 2 of each variety, and they have their signature beer, Cold Smoke, which I know both you guys have tasted. Pretty good. I think I've had it on the show before.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They also have the Hellgate Honey Hefeweizen and the Northwest IPA, both of which outstanding, well-rounded beers. But on today's show, I'm bringing the 4th beer from the pack, which is the Fish On Juicy Montana Pale Ale. So I don't know if you noticed, or maybe it's different because I'm so far from New England, but they're not calling them New England IPAs. I'm seeing more and more juicy IPAs. Are you guys seeing that too?
Right. Yeah, I have seen that too. I don't know how I feel about it being from New England, but it's like, hey, remember your roots. Remember we did it first and do it best. But
yeah, so even though this is called a Juicy Montana Pale, I'm going to call it a Juicy New England Montana Pale.
rolls off the tongue.
But yeah, it's not, and actually maybe this is the clarification. You can see it's not a very hazy beer. It's filtered, so that might be some of the distinction too between juicy and hazy and New England. They're all subtle distinctions, but you get really strong hop aroma up front, really nice, juicy, tropical, fruity aromas.
Sorry, somebody was texting me from work, so.
Oh, you mean RCA? Reaching out for a record deal? That's how we're going to be the first podcast on record.
Yeah. We're making interesting moves, guys.
Just be ready, people.
Some say questionable. We say edgy.
Yeah. As I dig into this, it's lives up to its name, juicy, very sweet. Like I said, you get some of those tropical fruits. Maybe, this is where I need Tud's help here. But I want to say...
Grapefruit?
Less grapefruit, maybe more mango. It's not a strong citrus bite. There's very little citrus in this. And more maybe a passion fruit. I don't know. At this point, I'm just comparing it to juices I've tried.
Well, I mean, that's step one is to test those out, and then you try all the fruits in the store and see how that comes out.
Mm-hmm. I mean, Todd did it the right way. Can't take that away from him. So
yeah, you guys all made fun of me forever.
Well, only after your 4th star fruit.
Right. That was Jenna actually that called you out long time ago.
Hey, if you've never had a star fruit, then you can't make a judgment. Congratulations, Jenna, on having her baby. I feel like she had her baby too.
I don't know. She liked my post on Facebook, so that's not generally something you do when you have a baby.
Oh, you mean today recording, not today released day?
Either way.
You're not. This isn't a Tud Cleo prediction, or is it?
It might be.
Tud Cleo's branching out into baby having.
Yeah. How much did it weigh, Ted?
6 pounds, 1 ounce.
That's kind of a smaller baby, I think.
That's a small baby.
And boy or girl?
Girl, 19 inches long.
Okay, and what's her untapped rating?
Can you rate a baby on Untapped?
Sure, why not?
That seems illegal.
You can rate anything anywhere. So back to my beer review. So this beer is only 4.8. It's described on the side of the can as zesty, vibrant, and easy drinking. And those are good words. Definitely easy drinking. And I like vibrant and zesty. It definitely paints a good picture of what this beer is. It's not super heavy bodied, but pretty flavorful, juicy IPA that you could have outside on a sunny day. Crushable, one might say. I'm going to give this beer, this is going to come in at a 3.75.
Okay.
For me.
Formidable.
Close to 4.0. Different beers have their different strengths. This one, let's say close to 4.0. But I'm going to guess the Untapped Diverse is going to give this one a 388 for episode 88.
Ooh, I like the guess.
So you were close, a little over, but they think it's a 3.68.
Okay.
So you got the 8 right.
Got the 8
That's
right.
pretty good.
Yeah.
So that's pretty good. It sounds like a beer I would enjoy. So
Well, when you come this summer,
right, yes.
you'll have to try it.
When I have 100% more kids.
Yeah.
Listen, it sounds like you're just making complaints now.
I know.
Nah, yeah. Listen, one kid who now somersaults on the bed is enough. But now I'm gonna have that plus a little baby. So we'll see how it all goes.
Well, as we learned, if the baby is born on a release day, you must name it Dolph.
Oh, I thought it was just if it was episode 100 release day. We're saying if it's on any episode release day.
Any episode release day, it must be named Dolph. And if it's born on my birthday, it must be named Tud.
Tud.
Yep.
Okay. Hopefully it's a release day.
And hopefully it's a boy.
Well, then any other day, it must be named Tudbert.
Tudbert. Okay.
What if it's a girl, though?
Tudbert is a beautiful girl's name.
Yeah.
Tudbert if it's a girl. Dolph if it's a boy.
Okay. I like it.
Fair
And
enough.
who said Tud has a gender binary designation?
It just has a lot of hard sounding consonants and vowels. It's not a very feminine name.
How about Tudina?
My beautiful princess Tudbert.
But you should be glad that you don't have a very feminine nickname. So
That is true.
yeah.
Very true.
Unlike Chris's nickname that he wouldn't allow us to bring to the podcast.
Which one?
Your feminine nickname.
Christina?
It was a joke.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. I was like, all mine are, I don't know, not feminine. Unless you're talking about sexy Catwoman meow. That's what I'm called in certain chat rooms.
Yeah. ASL?
ASL 13.
Probably you were 13 last time you used that.
That was what I meant,
Right.
yes.
I wasn't sure if you were just posing as underage girls in chat rooms to lure people so you can record them. And
Why don't you have it? Why don't you
yeah, if you're the new, what was that guy's name? Chris Hayes?
Yeah. What was it? How to catch a predator?
Yeah, if you're the new How to
right.
Catch a Predator guy, that's why you've been working so many days in a row. I'd understand.
She said she was 15, but I swear she was 22.
Yeah.
Hey, boo indeed. That's 30 Rock. Oh, anyways.
All right, so with this one, I'm going to pass it off to Ted. Why don't you go next? What do you got for us today?
Sure. So, as you guys are aware, when you guys are listening to this, it'll be May 7th.
Siete de Mayo.
First of all, I need to wish a happy wedding anniversary to my parents. Didn't realize this was that day when we were recording it. So, happy wedding anniversary.
How many years have your parents been married, Ted?
32.
Nice.
Happy 32nd wedding anniversary.
Nice.
But if anybody knows dates, 2 days prior was a significant drinking day. Unfortunately, we all had to be locked up into our houses due to quarantine, except for Obert, who lives in a state that allows people to just run wild.
A quick interjection. All the bars opened on Monday, Quattro de Cinco. So we're back.
Really?
We're open for business. You got to be 6 feet apart.
Quattro de Mayo, you mean?
It's a Arrested Development joke. You can't be. You can't sit at the bar. You can't mingle with other tables. But yeah, breweries open today. Bars open today. So we'll see how it goes. And this is yeah. We're recording on Monday, but
Wow.
yeah. So
That's truly amazing.
truly amazing.
Yeah, I long for that day.
I'm not going anytime soon. I'm still
that's
I'm
smart.
still waiting it out a little longer.
Yeah, people are still in a craze over the NFL CBA. You really don't want to be out in that mess.
Oh yeah. I
Tell
mean,
the truth, Obert. You will go to a brewery to buy a growler, though.
oh for sure. But I'm not going to be hanging out at bars, I guess, or restaurants. Yeah, still doing my social distancing thing.
So after Cuatro de Cinco, I believe is how Obert called it, is Cinco de Mayo. And while this may be a little bit late because we're 2 days later when you're hearing the sound of my beautiful, sultry voice, I brought a margarita to the podcast to share how I make a margarita, and hopefully to allow you guys or to give you guys a recipe for this upcoming weekend.
Nice. All right, hit us with that mariachi band sound effect on the board here.
Chicka, 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 chicka.
Ah, yeah.
There you go.
All right.
Wow, that was great. That's the best sound effect yet.
So the way I make my margarita is I start with 3 or 2 shots of vodka, depending on how strong I would like to make this.
I'm sorry. Say that again?
I start with either 2 or 3 shots of tequila.
Okay. I was so worried for a second about this margarita, how it's going to turn out. I was like, oh, boy.
Oh, actually, hang on. We need to pop open that liquor cabinet.
All right.
Yeah.
Popping open the liquor cabinet. Cinco de Mayo edition. Ah, yeah. All right. Anyway.
You may have noticed that was the same sound effect, but translated into Spanish.
Right.
That's how that works. So I start with 3 shots or 2 shots of tequila, depending on how strong I would like to make my drink. Then I do 1.5 ounces of triple sec, followed by a 1/2 ounce of agave nectar, and 1.5 ounces of fresh squeezed lime juice.
Oh, interesting. So ratio-wise, you have equal parts sweetener and lime juice?
Correct.
Okay.
Yep, equal parts triple sec and lime juice, and then a 1/2 ounce of agave nectar, 2 to 3 shots of tequila. Shake that up in a shaker. Pour that over ice, obviously in a salted glass, and then take 2 lime wedges, throw those in the drink as well before serving it. And then for my little topper, I take a little bit of Grand Marnier and I float that on top of the drink.
Ooh, nice. That sounds delicious. A couple questions.
Sure.
Most importantly, what kind of tequila are you using?
So, Ober, I'm glad you asked this question.
Is it like any kind of special tequila for the special holiday?
So usually I do nothing stronger or nothing nicer than Patron. I try to usually go a little bit cheaper with the tequila in my margarita so you get that little bit of extra tequila bite. But because I knew I was coming to this podcast today, Ober, from back in July, if you will recall, you gifted me a bottle of tequila.
I do recall. This was the test, and you passed the test.
and I've only tried it once. I only took a shot of it.
Wow. Okay.
Just because you had asked a few times, I felt kind of bad that I hadn't tried it, so I tried one shot of it.
Guilting you into drinking is my favorite activity.
Well, it's not even guilting me into drinking. I have what it turns out to be 5 open bottles of tequila. Now I have 6. Or I had 6. I had 5 before I opened this, and now I have 6 after opening. But I decided to make my first ever cocktail with the tequila that you bought. So I am drinking in here. It's called Corzo Tequila Reposado. It is a very interesting looking bottle.
Interesting how?
Obert, tell me a little bit about. It's unique shaped. It's square. It has a nice little pour spout on the top.
What's the stopper situation?
It's still made out of cork.
Okay, we got a cork stopper.
Yeah. Obert, I think you know more about this tequila than I do. So while I taste my drink, why don't you explain what this is?
I'd be happy to tell you all about a tequila that I bought for you for a wedding present like 10 months ago.
Okay, perfect.
Which I definitely remember the name of, and it's Corzo. Corzo, like orzo, but with a C. The tequila that I'm not Googling. Oh, that is a very fancy looking bottle. The pour spout's like off-centered. Looks like something you would see in a fancy perfume in, except it's tequila bottle sized.
Nice. Sounds delicious just from the bottle.
It is. It's a very smooth reposado. It doesn't have a lot of bite to it, even when you taste it straight. So in a margarita, it is very smooth and very drinkable. I could crush this in probably about 10 seconds if I really wanted to.
Yeah. Based on what I remember from my extensive research before I bought it, it's a triple distilled tequila for an impeccably clean, ultra smooth finish.
Wow.
There you go.
Yeah. And the Reposado and Anejo are the only tequilas to be mellowed prior to the third distillation. Yeah.
What does mellowing of a tequila mean?
Well, Reposado is Spanish for rested. So it's mellowing out in that it's resting in the tequila barrel, soaking in that flavor.
So they rest it and then distill it again.
They do. And it says it requires twice the amount of agave as most brands for this process.
Interesting. For those of you that don't know much about tequila, we did do a special liquor cabinet on a previous episode. So, just start at one and make your way through all of them. So,
yeah, just if you missed it, check the back catalogs and, find it.
Well, especially because we're going to have a bunch of new listeners now.
Very true. So in your group of feed spot fanatics, the double Fs as we like to call them, just make sure that you guys talk about all the back catalog. And we need leaders of our new groups, our cults of followers.
Yeah, right. It sounds like we're recruiting for a cult.
Well, don't forget new followers to also join our Discord as well. Link in the comments.
Yeah, the community's popping off in there.
Yeah, it's awesome.
So going back to this,
but anyways,
this is a really, really, really smooth margarita.
Let's hold it up to the camera. I want to see it. Ooh, look at that! It looks very nice, and a rocks glass there.
Oh yeah, I always put my margaritas in a rocks glass too. For whatever reason, I like that better than a normal margarita shaped glass. I like it better than a wine glass. I guess you could put a margarita in that if you wanted to. I just find this is just a better shape to hold. It's more portable. It's got a nice wide opening to get a nice salt rim, but not too much salt to where it's overpowering every time you take a sip. You can kind of like half sip some salt in case you're not a big salt fan. And overall, this is really smooth. Again, I would drink this Corzo tequila straight over throwing it in a margarita. I think that if you're going to go get a margarita, you're better off getting, Cuervo Silver in your margarita just so you get that, like, kick in the teeth, if you will, from the tequila taste, because that's really what you're going for, especially to kind of overpower the sweetness and the tartness of lime juice and triple sec, and with that Grand Marnier poured on top, that adds a little bit more sweetness to it. I'm not going to lie, a little too cheap in the Tud House to buy Grand Marnier, but thanks to Total Wine, I bought a knockoff Grand Marnier called Grande Caroni.
Interesting.
Which is still a French distilled orange liqueur with brandy to float on top. Tastes exactly like Grand Marnier, just half the price.
Very nice.
So overall, I'd probably give this, I'm going to give it a 4.5. The tequila itself, I would give probably a 4.75. When thrown in a drink like this, it kind of overpowers the tequila, so the drink comes down a little bit.
Nice. Sounds good. I'm not a big margarita guy. I'm not a big tequila guy, but, if you're into that, it sounds good.
Are you a tacos on Cinco de Mayo kind of guy?
I'm not. I'm not a big taco guy.
Chris, I'm also going to give you a little bit of a hint. Part of this recipe was inspired by a common interest that you and I both have.
Beer?
Beer.
Close.
Spanish ladies? Oh,
nope.
Shakira?
Nope. You're getting farther away. With each guess, you've gotten farther away.
Okay, back to liquid.
No, to beer. Then there's a certain bald guy with a goatee who is famous for drinking beer.
Stone Cold?
Correct. This is partly influenced by his recipe of how to make a really good margarita.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Very cool.
Nice. And this is our second margarita recipe we've had on the podcast. For my recipe, again, you got to just dig deep, find it in the back catalog somewhere.
Yeah.
But
do you want to give a little sneak peek of what made yours so special?
No, it sounds like we do very similar things. I like palomas also, and that's with grapefruit juice. Pretty much similar ingredients.
Just sub the grapefruit out for the lime juice?
Yeah. Yep. You can do that. But yeah, using the agave syrup is really nice because you don't have to melt the sugar for the simple syrup. So that's handy for sure. And I also prefer my margaritas served up. So shaken over ice and strained, or maybe with like one ice cube floating in there just to keep it cold and watered down a little.
Yeah, I should describe this. I shook it over ice, strained it into a glass with ice. Nice.
Sounds like very proper technique there. And I hope you enjoyed many more of them on tomorrow/2 days ago, the holiday of Cinco de Mayo. And if you're having a socially distant picnic this weekend, maybe you could be having some more. Who knows?
So with that, Chris, I think it's more than enough time for you to start drinking.
All right. Yes, I need this after the week I've had. So this was something because it was like 80 degrees today in North Carolina. It's been sitting in my fridge for a nice hot day, and I'm excited to have it on the podcast. Oh boy.
Well, it sounds
Oh,
refreshing.
boy. A little bit of an overflow there.
You were just so aggressive, aggressively wanting to open that beer.
So this is actually, I think, it's the last beer that I have for sure. This actually is foaming a lot, and it's making me think that I shouldn't have waited this long to drink this beer. But we'll see, I guess. I think this is the last beer I have for sure. It might be the last beer altogether from our Tavour box that we got way back in the day. I know Todd did one last week.
There might be another one floating around.
Okay, there might be one more. Spoiler alert for future podcast. But thank you to our friends at Tavour for hooking us up with these beers so long ago. We're terrible at giving you proper shout-outs.
Allow us to give you a proper...
Yay!
We didn't want to thank you properly until we got the soundboard so we could play the yay.
Right.
But this is Four Noses, their ad hoc series, Berry Passion Berliner. So it's a Berliner Weiss with blackberry and passion fruit.
Sounds like a good summer beer.
Yeah, it's a 12-ounce can, but it's out of Broomfield, Colorado. And yeah, it's got like a nice, like the very light and bright, got the sun on it. It's like pretty cool looking can.
If I may say so, it has very like early 2000s Microsoft PowerPoint clip art vibes.
I felt like Britney Spears is about to start playing.
Yes.
Which is a very specific aesthetic. It somehow captures that art on that can.
Right, yeah. But nice dark beer. Of course, being blackberry and passion fruit, it's like a dark red. I'm drinking it, of course, because the day we are recording is Star Wars Day, so I'm drinking out of my Yoda glass.
That's right. May the 4th be with you.
May the 4th be with you always. I also have my Millennium Falcon shirt on, because it's a visual medium.
Well, you got to feel the energy flowing through you.
Right,
like
yes.
Like metachlorians.
My metachlorian level is off the chart. So I'm pretty excited. I don't know. It's been one of those beers. It's, it was winter, and not that it was been really cold here, but it was. I was just waiting for like a nice, bright, sunny day, and today was the day. So I'm pretty excited for it. So let's see how it is.
On Thursday, Obert and Chris, I will be going to get a Berliner Weiss as well from Stargazer, who has slowly become my favorite Connecticut brewery in the past couple weeks.
So you've been able to get it consistently.
That and 12% have been tied for. They've been putting out some really cool stuff. I've been trying, and quite successfully. I mean, not as successful as I'd like, but somewhat.
Nice, that's awesome. So this is very good. It hits you pretty hard. It is a Berliner Weiss, so it's definitely tart. I mean, you think of blackberry and you think of passion fruit, especially the blackberry. A lot of tartness in blackberry. The flavors work very nicely together, but you do get punched with some tartness right up front. Mellows out into a nice sweetness, and then it doesn't linger very long. It's kind of like a nice clean finish, just like, okay, boom, there it goes, gone away. It's a very good beer. Nice, refreshing, good on a hot day.
That was very Pete and Tom of you as a review, Chris.
Listen, I've really matured since we become number 11 on feedspot.com. Top 20 beer podcast list of 2020. No, it's very good. There's not a lot I can really say bad about it. I think maybe I can see how it can turn people off because it is very tart up front. Now, this is also an older can, so do keep that in mind. But it's a good beer. It's a very good beer. I've never heard of Four Noses Brewing before, so I'm pretty excited about trying a new brewery. I have yet to be to Colorado, so that's going to be fun whenever I end up going there.
Colorado is a great beer state.
Yeah, I know it's a great beer state. So, but no, it's good. It's worth the wait. It was available on Tavour back in the day, probably last year or so. I think it's 4% alcohol.
4.7.
4.7. Okay, it doesn't really say it on the can, but there was a big 4 circled, so I thought I just took a stab at it. But it's a really good beer. I think if they dialed down, if they dialed down the sweetness a smidge, not sweetness, if they dialed down the tartness a smidge, I think it would get a little bit higher. But I'm going to give this a 3.75.
Nice.
Pretty good rating.
Very good. Yeah. The Untapped verse, I think it's going to be lower. I can see how this could potentially turn off folks. Plus, it's a sour, so those generally don't rate it. I'm going to say it's a 3.62.
So, with 1,003 check-ins, you were a little too low with your guess.
Okay.
It's a 3.83.
Okay. All right. Good.
Nice.
Good.
Yeah.
And I'm glad it's higher. I'm glad it's higher because it deserves to be higher. I just was being pessimistic on behalf of the beer. No, it is a good beer. Very good beer. So nice and delicious.
And so with that, we take our cans, we throw them away, and we move on.
Oh, that was that sound effect. Okay.
Ba-da,
What's that sound?
ba-da,
Oh no.
ba-da, 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 ba-da,
Ba-da, ba-da, da-da, 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 da-da.
Thanks for joining in, Chris. But
I'm sorry, I forgot we did the thing.
It's time for Face Your Beers. All right. So this week, I'm facing my beers today on the podcast. I was walking through the grocery store, and I know we talked about this in the podcast, but I hadn't seen it in person. As soon as I saw it, I knew I had to pick it up and bring it here to try out on the show. This is the Pabst Blue Ribbon Hard Coffee, PBR Hard Coffee.
oh, nice.
Yeah,
Ooh.
I know.
Okay.
Did you also find the Pabst Blue Ribbon bourbon while you're at it?
Still keeping my eye out for that. If any of our listeners have seen it, let us know where to find it because I want to try it.
We have new listeners now too, so
Yeah.
Right.
So it says here on the can, this is the original Pabst Blue Ribbon hard iced coffee with a dash of milk. This Java brew balances a rich, creamy blend with a whipped vanilla flavor. This comes in at 5% ABV and definitely much more of a coffee-looking thing than a beer-looking thing. It's like a tall, skinny 11-ounce can.
Yeah.
it looks like what I would buy like a Starbucks
It's
coffee.
exactly what it looks
from a
like.
grocery
Yeah.
It's got like,
Yeah.
instead of the classic red, white, and blue PBR logo, it has just like Yoo-hoo brown colors with a blue ribbon on the front. So
Yep. I'm slightly jealous at being a big coffee guy. I'm like, man, I really want to try
yeah,
it.
I'm facing my beers because I don't want to stay up too late. So we'll see.
Fair
I don't know
enough.
how much caffeine is in here, but it doesn't say anywhere on here. So we'll just see. We'll just see if there's any. I don't know. So, all right, without further ado, let's dig right in here. I even got a little glass with ice. I don't know if you should drink it over ice, but so yeah, it looks like a Yoo-hoo kind of as I pour it, or like one of those vanilla frappuccino things that Starbucks sells in the cans.
Yeah.
Yeah, very
It
much
looks
a creamy coffee color.
Yeah, it looks like a coffee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not what I was expecting.
You know, it wasn't either until I started to like pull up some. I was trying to find the press release from PBR. And I saw some pictures of it, and I'm like, oh, that's not what I was expecting. So before I read how PBR tries to talk it all up, I'm gonna just go in and try it out. Okay, it's not disgusting. It's not terrible.
Now, just remind us: 4-pack, 6-pack, 12-pack. What'd you buy?
I'd have to check in the fridge. I think these came in a 4-pack. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm not too sure. Like I said, it's like the tall, skinny can. Like you never see. This is like with the Truly or the other spiked seltzer brands, like the tall, skinny cans. But this isn't bad. At first, I thought it was a little watery, but maybe that's because I poured it over ice. I don't know if you're supposed to do that or not.
Did you pour the whole thing over? Can you take a sip out of the can?
Yeah, actually, that's a good. I like your control group testing here, Todd. Let's go right from the can. Let's see how this goes.
I mean, I love Bud Light, but I would never pour it over ice.
Yeah. No, it tastes about the same. I think pouring it over ice was the right call. Yeah, it tastes chocolatey and vanilla-y and pretty tasty. 5% alcohol, would be a great way to start your morning if you're drinking all day. If you're like a bachelor party and everybody's kind of like lagging from the night before and you need to like get everybody to get going in the morning, bust these out, pass them around, you'll get your buzz going before you're done cooking those eggs. So I don't know if it was too obvious that I was speaking from personal experience there, but
I mean, I'm a little upset you guys didn't have these for my bachelor party now.
yeah, it would have been nice. Unfortunately, I don't think they existed then.
Damn, I'll just have to get married again.
Yeah, or we could just renew the vows of the bachelor party. Just have
Could do
a
that.
bachelor party renewal where we do that.
There we go. I like that.
We just get to go back to Asheville. How great is that?
Oh, I cannot wait until the world is open. I want to go to Asheville so
Yeah.
bad.
So this is better than I thought it was going to be. It's just so weird that I had to try it, you know?
Yeah, no, I've had an eye out for them like since I found out about them. I haven't seen them yet, but I'm a big coffee guy. I figured I'd like
It's
it.
tough to rate because it's tough to compare it to, because I've never had a drink like this before. It's not like a Black Russian or anything. It's like a Starbucks drink. It's a Yoo-hoo. I can't really taste the alcohol. Granted, I've already had a full other beer, but it doesn't really bite you with the alcohol.
Well, it's only 5%, so
Yeah, but it masks it well. If you were say Chris Adamowitz, but we're turning 21 in 2020, and you were looking for like the first beer, the first alcoholic beverage to drink, this one wouldn't be bad because it doesn't really taste like alcohol. I think if you like coffee already, if you like those Starbucks drinks, and you're of legal drinking age, we're not promoting underage drinking, but if you've never had alcohol before, this would be a good place to start, I think.
It's a good gateway alcohol.
It is. It really is.
and I believe 21-year-old Chris was already a coffee fiend by that point. So
Yeah, probably not to the extent I am now, but I definitely did drink coffee every day. More Mountain Dew back then.
So what do you want first? Do you want my rating, or do you want me to read some fun quotes from the press
I
release?
would like some fun quotes from the press release first.
I think that's the way to go.
I'm stealing this from the Munch Squad series on My Brother and Me, a favorite podcast of mine and Chris's.
Yes.
But they do fun press releases as well. So they say here that the company describes this drink as vanilla infused premium iced coffee with 5% alcohol by volume. Quote, it's a fun and deliciously unique drink made using Arabica and Robusta coffee beans and rich, creamy American milk, Pabst noted in a press release. Pabst Blue Ribbon has always been a brand that pushes boundaries and celebrates those who experiment and try new things. Hard coffee is an opportunity for us to pioneer a delicious and fun new drink and gives America something new. We hope everyone loves it as much as we do. So, yep, that's it. That's pretty good. We have some... I'm not the only one. So it says here that a lot of people on Untappd think it's a little sweet. More than one reviewer compared it to Yoo-hoo, Reese's Cups, and vanilla wafers. Now here I'm just reading an article that's quoting other Untappd reviews, but not beer, but not really trying to be alcoholic Yoo-hoo.
What does
Yeah.
Rick, Tim, Tom, and Pete think of this?
You know, when you had that callback, Todd, that went completely over my head earlier.
I like how it came
Until-
all the way back around right now.
Yeah. I'm like, who is Tom and Pete? Now I know. You know, I don't think we've gotten to the beer connoisseur
Okay.
yet, but if I can find it, I'll let you know. For what this is, I'm going to rate it a 3.5.
Nice.
It's pretty
That's awesome.
tasty. It's pretty solid.
Good.
Good job, PBR.
That means that if I find it now I definitely will buy it.
Yeah, do it. Do it. If you're looking for something to drink in the morning and you're not like a Bloody Mary guy, I don't know. Go with
if you're
this.
me,
Yeah, if you're Chris and you're going to like your 9th day of work in a row, just sneak some of this in your coffee.
no one's gonna know. Literally.
Is this a good quarantine morning beer?
Yeah, you got those morning meetings that you got to get through. You don't wait till lunch to start drinking beer. Go with the hard coffee.
Well, like I'm saying, like if you have a coffee and usually you would pour Bailey's in it, could you pour this as a substitute for Bailey's?
No, I would pour the Baileys in this. I would put this as the substitute for the coffee.
See, Ober's thinking on a whole different level.
Okay.
Yeah. This is
Yeah,
this is a good base. It's more of a base than something you would add to it.
Yeah. If you were to add that to a coffee, it would be, I don't know. You know, you need the 70 proof from the Baileys or whatever it is
Right.
to make it worth
To really
your while.
jumpstart your day.
All right, Obert. So what do you think the Untapped rating is?
All right, I think the Untapped average, because they're snobs on there, is going to be lower than my rating. I'm going to say that they're calling it a 3.34.
And just for records purpose, what was your rating again?
3.5.
So, Ober, out of 25,000 check-ins, you are way off.
Really?
The Untapped-iverse thinks it's a 3.99.
Holy
No
shit.
way.
Yeah.
Oh, damn. Okay.
Yeah, they love this.
Okay.
Okay.
I see you, PBR Hard Coffee. Damn.
This is what those in the biz call a hit.
Yeah. I mean, to have a beer, a drink, you know what? Now I wish I paid attention to how much I paid for it, because I'm curious how expensive it is. It can't be like PBR cheap, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
Damn, that's crazy.
Those Starbucks drinks are expensive.
Yeah, they're very expensive. Yeah. They're like $4 a can.
The most recent reviews on Untapped are, it tastes like Yoo-Hoo in a can. That's a win. I don't know when Yoo-Hoo's not in a can, but
Well, there's the glass bottle.
Right.
if you like cream with a bit of coffee, this is spot on.
Yeah, that's fair. It's very
I love
creamy.
this, but I also drink iced coffee, so that makes sense. Could stand to be a little less sweet.
Yeah.
Starbucks bottles in a can with alcohol. People love it.
Okay. Well, beers faced. There you go, folks. Face your own fears at home. You never know. You might end up with a 3.99 experience coming out of it.
So when I did my 1,000,000 hour stream last week, I went to the liquor store because I wanted to start drinking in the morning, which was stupid. And I actually bought a Irish cream that wasn't Bailey's, and I was very disappointed in it.
Really? Was it noticeable difference?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, big difference. It was way more harsh. It wasn't very smooth, but I didn't want to spend, I don't drink hard coffees that often, so I didn't want to spend like $30 on something I'm only going to use every once in a while.
And I don't know how long Bailey's is good for, but that's something that I would throw away when I saw I had bought it 5 years ago.
It can last 5 years, just an FYI.
Okay, good, because this bottle might last that long.
Chris, what brand did you buy?
I bought Original Ryan's Irish.
Oh, I've
style-
seen Ryan's. Yeah.
Irish style cream.
I've never
liqueur.
heard of that.
It just looks like Bailey's.
Oh.
But there's a distinct difference. There was another one that I almost bought that was a smaller container, but it was like $30. This one was like 11. So, but yeah, I don't know. I don't drink them very often, and it made a big difference.
So I also bought a Bailey's knockoff in the past week, but mine was good.
Really?
Wait, so what's the backstory behind why you needed some Bailey's?
I have become a fan of Screwball whiskey.
What is Screwball whiskey? Is that a brand?
So Screwball whiskey is a peanut butter flavored whiskey.
Peanut butter whiskey?
Correct.
No thanks.
It's amazing.
That sounds like a face your beers to me. When did you first try this?
A couple weeks ago. Purchased it, tried it, loved it. So I decided to make a few cocktails with it. And the cocktails, let's just say it'll be featured on the podcast soon.
Hang on. So you're telling me you went in the store, you saw peanut butter flavored whiskey, you had never tried this before, and you said, yeah, I think it's worth spending the number of dollars that a bottle of this costs to try this out?
Correct. So it came as a recommendation from somebody who I do trust their drinking flavor opinion. So I was told to go buy it. It's $26 for a bottle, and it's delicious. You can drink it straight. It tastes amazing. It tastes like peanut butter in a glass. You throw it in the cocktails. Tastes like you're adding peanut butter to any cocktail you want to add it to. So personally, I made a type of mudslide with Irish cream, and I didn't feel like buying $30 Baileys, as Chris pointed out. So I bought $15 or $13 Kavanaugh's Irish cream.
With a C or with a
It tastes
K?
just like Bailey's.
Okay. And this is a
It is
Total
a
Wine brand?
Wine brand. I walked in. I said, hey, what do you have that's not a $30 Bailey's? The guy said, since I've had this, I've never bought Bailey's ever again. So I said, sold.
Yeah, I tell you what. Say what you want about Total Wine. They're like knockoff brands. Pretty good all around.
So I will say that the Grand Marnier that was in my drink tonight is a Total Wine knockoff brand. Tastes just as good as Grand Marnier.
I think it's just like the store generic brand where they just repackage the same stuff.
Oh, 100%. I mean, they bought it from the people who make it, but you know what? It saves me half the cost. I'm happy with it. But yeah, so
Heck yeah.
So Screwball whiskey, a little bit of an early handle. But yeah, Kavanaugh's Irish cream from a Total Wine. Go check that out. It's Bailey's at half the cost.
Nice.
All right, I definitely will check that out. And that sounds like a pretty good drink that we heard two of the ingredients of.
Right. There's much more.
There's much more, and that was part of the mudslide?
Correct.
Okay. Well, I'm excited for you to bring a mudslide next time you crack open the liquor cabinet.
Oh, by the way, we're letting the bugs in. We gotta shut that.
Oh, jeez. All right, now it's time for our creaky handles of wisdom on our frosty mug. Sadly, we don't have time to hear about the mudslide. We have to end today's episode, as we always end the episodes, where we tell you things we like, typically things we consume, either through our eyes and ears or with our mouth. This week, why don't we have Chris go first?
Yay, Chris.
I think there's a sound effect for that.
There is. Hang on.
Yay!
I don't know why that sound effect sounds like the three of us cheering.
It really does. I think, well, you can really hear the Chris in there.
Yeah, it's like right at the end, like you can hear the Chris. Like, hey, hang on. Well, listeners, just listen to the very end.
Yay!
Yay!
Yeah, it sounds like
I don't know
the
where
three
that
of
came
us.
from. I promise it was not the three of us recording it, but we'll go with it.
Yeah, no. So tonight I'm revisiting an old show, a good faithful show that did a special COVID-19, whatever that is. I haven't heard about it in the news. It's been covered up by the NFL CBA.
Are you gonna steal my handle?
Maybe, but they came together. The cast got back together after 5 years of being off the air and did a special for Parks and Recreation.
Not my handle.
Not your handle. Okay.
I didn't know if this show did that too, but this is good.
Oh no. Oh yeah. So anyways, Parks and Rec, which is one of my all-time favorite shows. I say that about a lot of shows, but one of my all-time favorite shows. They got back together. They got the band back together and did a special COVID-19 fundraising episode. And they do it all via Zoom, like social distancing kind of thing, and they talk about a bunch of stuff.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so it's in a lot of the folks like Chris Pratt, for example, they have gone on to very large things. So I'm sure it's impossible to get everybody in the same room. So it's a nice.
Well, also with the CBA, we can't really all get in the same room at all.
Right.
Either.
Also that being true. A lot of the chemistry's still there. It's still very funny. They did a really good job with it, with what they were able to work with. And the whole thing throughout they plugged and they tried to get donations to help. I think it was like Feeding America or one of those organizations to help folks that are in need. And there are a lot of folks in need right now due to the NFL CBA. So it was pretty cool. It was fun to see. It's available on Hulu, which is where we watched it, but it originally aired on NBC. So I'm sure if they have a streaming service, you can watch it there too. But yeah, so check it out. If you're a big Parks and Rec fan, like I am, you should definitely check it out because it's still very funny.
Nice. I'll put the Hulu link in the show notes so we can watch it there. That's cool. I love that show. Parks and Rec is great. It'll be good to see them with a reunion episode in a weird. I think it's like the reunion episode we all need right now. Where it's like this is just such a unique time to be, a member of society and to have a sitcom we all love tackle that. It's interesting. So I'll have to check that out. That sounds really fun.
Yeah, definitely do. It's awesome. So, anyways, who wants the next handle?
I'll go next. I have a video game handle this week. It was a Steam sale, and I think I got it for less than $5, maybe.
I saw the Obert Dim was on sale this week.
Oh, the Obert Din? Oh, yeah. Such a good game.
Obert,
you guys got to try
the
that.
Obert game.
The Obert Din? Yeah.
Obert Din.
If I had known, I would have bought it and gifted it to you because it's that good. It's worth playing for sure.
I mean, I think it's probably still on sale. So if you want to kick it on over, I'm accepting donations.
We'll check that after the show. But this is a different low graphic quality game, and it's called Mindustry or Mindustry, however you pronounce it. It's industry with an M in the front, and It's a genre of games like, I don't know if you've ever played Factorio, but the whole premise of the game is you mine minerals and build conveyor belts and slowly build up your base as you get more and more materials that require more and more processing. It's a pretty nerdy game, I will admit, but
Is there any like enemies?
well, I was just going to say, so what kind of makes it interesting is that, like, to kind of hinder your task of collecting these minerals, waves of enemies show up, and you have to use the minerals like copper or lead to like build robots that shoot projectiles at the enemies. So, and as you play, you unlock more levels and you get more and more up the tech tree. So you unlock like, oil and plastic and titanium and thorium and like all this kind of stuff as you go on. So it's a fun learning curve. I played it a lot the last week. I mentioned Factorio. That's probably the archetypical game that you would think of this genre. So if you like Factorio, check this out. If you've never heard Factorio, that one too. I've played both. I really like it. It's just a good way for me to turn my brain off after I'm done with the day of work. Yeah, Mindustry. Check it out.
So it's also available on iOS.
Oh, cool.
For free.
For free.
For free.
Uh-oh.
Nice. Maybe I'll have to check it out there because
Seems like a good deal.
yeah, better price. I'll put a link to both in the show notes. How does that
It's
sound?
funny that you were talking about it, and I was like, wait a second. I think I have that on my phone.
But have you played it at all?
Not really. I played it like the last time I was on a plane, and then haven't picked it up since.
Okay. Yeah, it'd be a good game to play in airplane mode on a plane for sure. But anyway, with that, Ted, why don't you top our frosty mug of wisdom off?
All right. So because Chris didn't steal my handle, I'm going to hang on to that handle for another day.
Oh, you're gonna chance it? You're gonna roll the dice?
I'm going to chance it.
Maybe I'll take it. Maybe I'll take it next week.
So this week, while we're still in quarantine, I thought I would share something that's been going on.
Some of us are still in quarantine.
Some of us are still in quarantine. Most of us are still in quarantine. If you guys head over to the Metallica Facebook group on Mondays, every Monday they've been putting out a live stream of a concert of theirs that's been recorded.
No way, that's cool.
Yeah.
Wait, hang on. Is it a live broadcast or is it recorded?
So it's a prior recording of a show. So
Todd struggles with live versus recording.
it's a
I think
recording
so.
of a
That's what I'm
recording of a
realizing
previous
now.
live show. Does that make sense? Like,
Are we live right now is the question.
such an ass. It's a full performance of Metallica live from different days in the past, and it's called #Metallica Mondays. So if you head over to their Facebook group, they are live streaming concerts of theirs that have previously been recorded for free.
So it's like a live video podcast like we do, but with video and music.
Correct, I guess. You seem to be struggling with this idea. Head over to, Streamlined, head over to Metallica on Facebook for #Metallica Mondays, where they play prior shows, or they stream prior shows live onto their Facebook page.
That's really cool. So you've been doing that every Monday?
I've been paying attention to it. Obviously, it happens while we happen to be recording our podcast most of the time. So I've been watching it in the background, but you guys should definitely check it out. And by you guys, I mean listeners.
Okay, do you have any favorite Metallica tours that you've been on or seen, or like, just that you really love?
The Orion Festival, the first year one that took place in Atlantic City. I was at both of the shows, both nights. Night one, they played the entire Ride the Lightning album. Night two, they played the entire Black album. It was a field full of 35,000 people cheering and screaming and having fun. I saw a lot of different bands. Then saw Avenged Sevenfold. I saw Eric Church. I saw Volbeat. I saw just random Swedish rock bands. It was awesome. It was just a great festival of music. 35,000 people chanting "Die" when Creeping Death is playing might be one of the best things I've ever experienced ever.
Sounds like an experience that you could never relive. That sounds incredible.
Awesome. You can buy the shows available for download from their website, and it doesn't do it justice.
Yeah, you got to be there. You guys remember concerts?
Way back when the world was open? Yeah.
I missed concerts.
Yeah, those are fun.
I know. We went to let me see. The last concert we went to was, I think, the Nashville Symphony. I think that was the last concert we went to. But no, yeah, man, concerts.
Yeah, I have tickets to the Under the Big Sky Fest here in July, and there's been no news, but like, there's no way it's gonna happen. I sure they're gonna cancel.
I have
it,
tickets to
but,
see Slipknot on May 31st.
Still have the tickets. No
It has
word
not
on
been
cancellations
canceled.
or
It
anything.
has not been delayed. It's happening in Massachusetts, so something tells me it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And so with that, we'd like to thank you all for listening. We'd like to thank the people that provided today's beer and or liquor. So I will go first with thanking Obert for the Corzo tequila that he bought me.
Ah, thank you. The Reposado. Gotta mention the
Reposado
Reposado.
tequila.
I'd like to thank Four Noses Brewing Company for their Berry Passion Berliner.
And I'm dual fisting today, where I have to thank both Kettle House Brewing Company for their Fish On Juicy Montana Pale and Pabst Blue Ribbon, or Milwaukee's Best. I don't know. Is Pabst Blue Ribbon the company? Anyway, thank Pabst Blue Ribbon for their hard coffee.
Please make sure you're going over to social media and following us. That's Twitter, Facebook, and Untapped, and Instagram at DAWF Podcast. Also, make sure you hashtag follow the email dawfpodcast@gmail.com. Make sure you're sending over all your thoughts, your congratulations for becoming the number 11 beer podcast in the world. Make sure you're heading over to our Discord as well.
Woo!
That's the links right below where my finger's pointing right now. Go down there, click that.
Yep, just follow the finger.
If you want to see the rankings of the top 20 beer podcasts in the world, also in our description right down there, just follow the finger, go down there, click that. You can see that too. Shout out to Free Spot again for ranking us at number 11. All the new listeners, go back to in our catalog, listen to that. Also, we have a Patreon. Go over there, subscribe for as little as $1 a month. You get a whole bunch of extra content. Or if you want to see us do some crazy stuff or meet with us, or do a number of different things, go check out the Patreon for our different tiers and subscribe today. My name's Todd.
My name's Chris.
And I'm Obert. And remember, if you're drinking alone, do it with friends. And I gotta say, guys, now that I finished this hard coffee, it's definitely grown on me. It's like 375 now.
Okay. Are you gonna drink it in the morning now?
Yeah.
Just wait
I
and
mean,
see.
my first sip, I was like, and now that I'm done with it, I'm like, this is pretty good.
Part of waking up is Pabst Blue Ribbon in your cup.
Is getting fucking drunk.
Before work.